Welcome everyone. Have I made it on time? Now, as soon as I start, as soon as the notifications start getting out there that I'm alive, we'll start. It's going to be a bit of a weird and wonderful. I don't know if I can get the chat working properly. Doesn't seem to be coming up at the moment, but that's not to say that we can't fix it. It's trying to work. This video is unavailable. Why is it unavailable? Okay, seems that my mobile phone is watching an old version. Okay, so have we got some people here? Just tap on the old comments. Make sure that everyone can hear me. Okay, before we start. Can we hear me? Can we, no. As soon as we get see if we can get the chat to come out. See if we can get it working. All right, just pop on the chat there if you can hear me okay before we start on the stream. So I'm just conscious of I don't want it so you can't see me. Okay, hello. I hear you. Good. Hey Thomas, how you doing? Okay, good. Hope you're going to be liking these, well, live streams. I'm trying to, if I can not get too much in front of the camera. There you go. You'll be able to see me. There's a little bit of a delay, but that's good. So as long as everyone's there, I can carry on. Okie dokie. Right. So it's going to be an interesting one because this is going to be a little bit of a club review, and I'm sort of like gradually, well, it's getting more and more complicated as these streams go on. I'm trying to push the boat out now, so what we're going to do is waiting for people to join, just bear in mind just the time, so I don't want to go on too long because last week's went on a little while, but then again it was a test just to make sure things work. I see you also. Yeah, now we are going, now this is a different camera. This is my normal YouTube camera, so my 4K camera, but obviously this being the internet around here is a bit garbage. It can't take a 4K stream, so I've had to dumb everything down. This club review is supposed to be basically just to, it'll be in depth to a certain extent. It's not going to hopefully go on for too long. I'm just monitoring everything that's going on here. So everyone else, comment, just let me know you're alive. I've got my remote control. I'm going to go crazy now. We'll do some bits and pieces. So as soon as I get something other than Thomas dropping a comment, go on. Anyone else, just pop a comment below if you can, depending on obviously what medium you're watching me on. TV might be a bit difficult. But anyway, what we're going to do, we'll start it now because necessarily we don't want this to go on for too long. Okay, right, guys, I'm at Berry Golf Range as usual. You know, Jay Smith here. Hello. I am going to try and keep an eye on what's going on. I've got some cameras and bits and pieces we're going to go to. So what we're going to do today, we are going to, we're going to be looking at the G700 against the Rogue X, the Callaway Rogue X. Now you could say these two are the big boys of distance, or getting that way, the big boys of distance. So the problem is when it comes to these clubs, I think we do need a different bracket now. We've gone to game improvement irons, and it's got to this whole idea of just getting more and more and more and more distance that way. And yes, you can get forgiveness to a certain extent, but there is also a limit as to how much forgiveness you can have. But we're seeing a dramatic increase in the crankness of lofts. So, excuse me. Right, other people, just comment below if you can see me, because at the moment, Thomas, you are the only one. I want to make sure that I'm still live. Yeah, pop down, come on, get some comments going, because if not, if the internet, because the internet around here is terrible, it's not the greatest in the world, but I can see myself. So if I can see myself on 4G, you hopefully should be able to see me. So anyway, look, I've got some more cameras, remote controlled by my tablet. Hopefully this will work. So I've got, if it will go on. Oh, it's all gone wrong now, isn't it? See, this is what happens when you get live stuff. It all goes very, very wrong. Right. Oh, see, it's gone wrong. I don't want to have to go to the computer, you see. If I don't get to the computer, you're going to have to, I'm going to disappear and stuff and start talking about that, and you won't be able to hear me, which is not ideal. So if we're going to get more than just a few people here, say, Thomas, can you still hear me? Can people just comment to make sure you can still hear me, because the internet around here is slow. It's not very good, and so I want to make sure that everything is still okay. But as soon as you can see, we've got different cameras. If I get my body out of the way, which has also got the chat, and we've also got other bits and pieces as well, what we'll get to. But first of all, we just need you guys just to make sure that you can see and hear me okay. Bearing in mind, it's not the best. Yes, here you go, good picture quality also. Okay, right, well in that case, I will hopefully start this, whether it's a case of we can get everything to work as it should do, I don't know, but we will see. That's the whole idea of it. Let's see if we can make it work, shall we? Because this is very, very intricate. So appreciate you sticking by me. Right, here we go. Alrighty, 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 right. Come on people, comment. Cool, another YouTube cough. Still got my YouTube cough. Right, you'll now see me. I've got the live bits and pieces here, obviously, and then what you can see here, so I can keep an eye on what the channel chat says. Right, so I've got my remote control. As you can see there, I can flick it to that view, so you can see me. Hello. Just wandered off, I realise that. But we are going to be looking at, basically, we're going to go look at the G700 first, so we'll do a little bit of that. So that's the G700 iron, had a little 360 look, as you can see. Yeah, now we'll probably go through bit by bit what they do, and I've also done some testing using my Game Boy Vice Pro to see how this thing compares up against this little wee bad boy. That one, the Callaway Rogue X. Now, that is a little powerhouse, that is. Now, these two clubs, now, yes, they are cranked, but what you'll find is the G700 in its standard setup is a degree and a half weaker. But Ping have sorted that out by they do like a power spec. Why they need to do a power spec, I don't know, but they do. So necessarily it's gone a little bit crazy when it comes to crank lofts. So what we're going to do first, should we talk about the G700 first? Should we go get it? Let's go get the G700. I'll leave my phone there so I can keep an eye on that. I'll pop over to range cam, so now you can see me wandering. Hello, hello, hello. Right, here we go. The G700 iron, I've got these in both 7 irons, so they're exactly the same. Exactly the same length of shaft, exactly the same shaft, apart from, so they've both got the True Temper XP95 S300 in. The only difference is the Rogue X has got the stepless one. So this shaft has got steps to it, like little ridges as it gets smaller. That is it. This has got nothing, literally just a smooth taper. That is the only difference between the whole of these shafts. That is it, nothing else. Okay. If you want to pop down comments, I can still see comments in the box here. Yeah, so on this camera, so it will still work. If you want me to do certain things while I'm doing this test, whack it over there so I can see it, and then I will probably do some testing or hit some shots anyway. Now, but what I did behind the scenes, because if not this would go on forever, is I have compared these two side by side using my Game Boy Vice Pro on quad. You can see sitting down there patiently, and yeah, still got there, still going, hopefully, although I can see yellow. As the internet around here is terrible. So I hit a bunch of shots. When I mean a bunch of shots, the good thing about doing this kind of thing is the fact that I can get a big data set. I will be doing a on-course thing soon, on a little epiphany moment as such, but yeah, that's different. We're going red now, so that'd be interesting to see if we still, are we still streaming? So you'll have to, yeah, just every so often just pipe up, thumbs up, you can still hear me. Right, we'll go G700 first. So this little wee beast, pearlescent, what they call it, hydropearl finish, I think it is. Just makes it very, very, very slippery, which is nice because it feels lovely. It does, as I mean, it's a golf club. But the look of it is quite nice. It is quite big. Now, I know some of you guys don't mind the look or actually don't find it that big at all. I do, because obviously I've been used to like blades, so they are quite small in that sense. I think also because of the fact that you've got that unmistakable ping. I'll tell you what, let's see if I can flick over to the other camera, like that one there. If we can go over to here, you might be able to, I don't know if that'll pick up the, probably not, that little notch. Whoop, there we go, there, that little notch there at the back. It's not zooming in because I think I'll fix the zoom so it will be on focus when I'm sitting down. So back again. So that little notch anyway, you'll be able to probably get it on that camera better. There we go, yeah. Webcam's a lot quicker at focusing like that. But anyway, that does make it look a little bit clunky, but it's there for a certain reason. Ping have utilised that little notch in there for years now to effectively, excuse me, effectively bend a cast club. Now generally cast clubs are very, very hard to bend, but they do a very, very good job of making sure these things actually go quite extreme lie angles as well. This is a hollow body design, and it does make a hell of a noise. Now I'll hit one if you don't mind. What we got? Yeah, go on, good. So I don't know if you'll be able to pick this up on camera, not sure at all, but we're going to get into the when it comes to like the data, the ball data and bits and pieces in a sec. I just want to, like, I don't know if you can see anything because of the lights that we've had to put on, but we'll hit this one. You tell the noise that it makes. It's like the whoosh. Another one, because the sound of that is lovely. It's just like so piercingly loud. Oh, misread. It is so loud. I personally think, because I'm used to a club which is obviously softer, is well, yeah, can't see, doesn't matter. If you want to see the range view like we had last week, I can do it. It just means I have to spend more money because I've got to get other tech as well to, yeah, because I've got the whatever I had plugged into my camera, the other one. Now, it does make a loud noise. It does fire off the face. It is very forgiving. Now, you can see by, if we dive straight into the, we got Mr. Josh the Nosh. I saw these on the shelf the other day. Look, I set hybrids. They are okay, right? I know people. This did sort of drum up a little bit of conversation when I done the original G700 review on my channel. If you haven't seen that one, pop on there, have a look. You can understand why. Right now, but these things do look quite chunky to my eye. Oh yeah, there we go. Can't forget the like Dalek look. These do look like quite a chunky one, but then you've got to understand that when it comes to what they're being directed at, as in the person, you're looking at high handicapper, beginner, someone who needs forgiveness, who hits it, another cough, all over the face. That's what these are designed for. My only issue, and it is the only issue, and I'll be honest with this one, is the fact that it's the price point. It doesn't bother me, but if a club is designed to be for a certain type of person, beginner, high handicapper, possibly hasn't been playing golf that long, have they got all that money to spend on a beginner? It's not a beginner, but I mean, obviously you can play with these potentially up until whatever handicap you wanted to, as long as you understood the nature of what these can do. If they are designed for new players, why are they so expensive? Yeah, I got onto that one. So was it Mr. Josh the Knot? Great name. Yeah, you got onto that one because you beat me to it. They are quite expensive, and I have a big bugbear about stuff being expensive. We got going on now. The sound and feel, don't change it with the swing speed. I tried the G7 on Wednesday, really liked them, effortless swing. Sorry mate, have to go, second half about to start. Okay Mark, no worries, appreciate the input. Now, yeah, when it comes to the feel of these, it's a subjective thing. Just because I think it's a little bit loud and it's a little bit harsh, etc. That is in no way saying that Ping have made a bad club, because they haven't. It's just personal to me. You guys might actually quite like the look of it and like quite the feel of it. And when you hit it, it is very forgiving. You can near enough, well, I don't know. Let's have a bit of fun. Now I've got this set up 180 yards away, and let's see if I can purposely miss-hit one. Still going well. Look at that thing. I didn't read it. I hit it that bad, it did not read it. Oh dear, look at that. But 177 carry and hit target. Let's see if we can do something. Let's see if we can get it on the heel. Oh yeah, that's horrendous. There you go, you can miss it. Look at that. Please get that dot. No, we didn't get that one. That's a shame. That was, oh, I don't know if you'll be able to pick that up that way a bit. That was like off there. Whoa, the screen is too bright. I know, I apologise. The only thing I could do, let's see, but I don't know if it's going to work or not. So, like that and like that. Now, I don't know if that's going to work because it might get a bit dark for me, for the camera. It might go a bit grainy. Anyone who's dealt with cameras, ISO, yeah. Is that better? Has that made any difference at all? So you can hit it that bad enough that it will miss target, but I'm bearing in mind, I'm physically trying to miss-hit this, as in badly, and you shouldn't really do that at all. Thomas, is that better? Screen better? Going left. There you go. You can miss it both ways. The only thing I find with these are I don't get the feel. I like yet better, good. It might go a bit grainy though, because obviously cameras don't like low light. But anyway, right, so we get into the ball data, right? Let's go crack into this. Hopefully you can see this. I am still here, so don't worry. We'll go through this ball data if you want, because I can actually probably see it in front of me. Right, as you can see, I've hit a bunch of shots. So I can also see, I can see your chat. Obviously you can't see the chat now, guys, but don't worry. Keep on popping the chat on there and we'll see it. Anyway, I hit a load of shots, as you can see there. I'm averaging 121.5 miles an hour. Ball speed, or launching was at 18.6, 0.6 right. Well, call it 5,000 spin, or 24. We're not going to argue too much over 24 RPM, but it's 5,000 spin. Now bear in mind, this is a 28 odd degree. Oh, notifications on the internet. It's a 28 odd degree 7-iron. 29.5 I think it is, or something like that. And it's just, it is very, very strong. And it is a degree and a half different. It's a bit weaker than the Callaway Rogue X. But hence the reason why we'll see when we go to the Rogue X the difference in spin and launch. But that's not too bad really. I mean, it's descending at 47.2, so it's still half decent with a lowish spin, but that's got a chance of stopping. And bear in mind, you've got peak height 35, that's plenty high enough. That is pretty good. I'm not going to argue that is actually pretty good for that kind of club. Going 177, 187 total, depending on obviously if it hits target or not. So hopefully you can see there that it still goes up pretty blooming well, considering. Yeah, good, that's better, that's cool. Right, now, club data. This is where you get to see how accurate I am as the human being. As you can see there, they're all my shots that I've done, and you can see the deviations in my club head speed. So I'm on average 91.4, I think it is, yeah, 91.4. But you can see that I deviate slightly because I'm a human being. I think 93.1 against down to just basically 90 miles an hour. So yeah, over that kind of data set, it's not too bad. I'm averaging 4.1 down, so I'm still hitting nice and down, 0.4 into out and 0.2 close. So I'm delivering the golf club on average very, very neutral. So you can see there by all the data that I've left in there, all my shots, that I still do move around a bit. Even though I'm average basically 0, I still do move around a little bit because bear in mind I'm a human being. Now these aren't fit for me, so keep that in your head. So as you can see they're 3.9 toe down. I am an upright player. I've always been an upright player, so when I get these, which are basically standard clubs, bearing in mind standard changes from different manufacturers, so there's no such thing as standard, delivering 22.9, is that degrees? If I'm wrong, just because my screen's really small. 2mm toe, 2mm low, half decent strikes, but bear in mind again, if you look at all the information there, you can see that I don't just hit middle every single time. I do have the occasion I move it around. If you want to know the flights as well, let's have a look at the flights. There you go, that's my flight. So you can see that I don't hit target every single time. I'm moving around, but it's not a bad dispersion pattern. If you look at a dispersion pattern, when it comes to looking at the ring, right? So right at the end of there, what you want to see from a decent player is the ring goes left to right. So dispersion is greater left to right than it is ever front to back. You do not want dispersion in a round ring, because that's, you're dispersing as much back to front as you are left and right. And bear in mind, when it comes to golf course design, golf course designers know where you miss, and you guys miss, and I do to a certain extent, because again, human being with strike, short and a little bit left, a little bit right. So the problem is then they will put all the bunkers and bits and pieces to get in your way. Right, okay. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to have a bit of fun. We're going to go talk about this little thing now. The old Callaway Rogue X. So, limited amount of tech, you could argue, when it comes to the Ping G700. Although tech is in there, you've obviously got a very, very springy face from the hollow head design, crank lofts. Yes, it is a very, very springy face. So yeah, that's how Ping do it. Anyway, right, so let's get back on to me. Now, Callaway Rogue X. When it comes to this thing, Callaway's gone crazy. And they're making no apologies, by the way, for this club, because this club is cranked to crazy amounts. And also, they've got so much tech in this little thing. I mean, I don't know if you can see all that, but I mean, geez, please, really? Is that all needed? Hollow head design again as such, but because they do not want it to make the same kind of noise that I don't like the Ping making, even though that's the design factor of the Ping, they fill it. The problem is when you fill something, you lose the springiness, because obviously the face is then pressing up against something rather than the air void inside. But so what they've done is they've filled it with urethane microspheres, something like that. Pop that in the comments if you can remember better than I can. Anyway, basically it's like urethane that you have on golf balls, etc., but with micro pockets of air in there. So it does have a chance to hit, flex, etc. So that's the whole idea. Still keep the springy, but don't make it so loud. Now, you've been hearing me hit with the Ping G700. Now, I might do some like a decent hit like I did, and then start hitting around the face again for a bit of fun, and you guys can take from that what you want. But there's a difference in sound between these two. So what we'll do, we'll give this one a little bit of a hit. Not a bad strike, not quite buttoned, but as you say, look, nice and straight. Oh, 1 dot mode. Doesn't like the light. The quad, when in this kind of light, doesn't like the light very much. So, speed urethane, yeah, TaylorMade. Speed. I think TaylorMade have got this, like the brand Speed down to a T now. I think they've been putting speed into everything. Difference in sound between this now. Oh, G700 has fell on the floor. Difference in sound now between this and the G700. The difference on. Go pick up the club seat. Yeah, fell on the floor. That's no good, is it? Let's see if I can get mine. Where's my phone? I put my phone over there. Doesn't matter. Urethane microspheres. Thank you, Thomas. You've been on Google and had a look. But I would argue, actually, I prefer the feel of the Rogue X. When I say feel, it's sound. I can't feel how soft this is compared to that, or not compared to that. I'm just going by sound, my own ears, of which I like the certain sound of. So if you guys like an explosive sound, air bubbles. Yep, that's exactly what it is. It means to cushion the noise. So you can hear, obviously I can't hear what you can hear through the speakers where you are in the world. But I can hear what I can hear here. That makes lots of sense. Oh, it's in. It's in. Oh, it's over. Damn it. I swear that was going to get close. You probably couldn't see that. It's a shame. I really need that. Yeah, but anyway, I quite like the feel of that. Yes, I do. Shall I see if I can really hit one bad? Hello. Hello, Christine. Thanks for tuning in. That is the wife. If anyone else wants to know, she's tuning in to see what I'm up to. Talking to the world about Rogue X irons. So let's go hit one poorly, shall we? So I've done that with the G700. I hit one decent and obviously then tried to scab it about a bit to see how forgiveness can be. Let's see how bad I can hit this thing. Look at that. When you really want to, I don't understand why anyone would really want to hit it that bad. So that's lost distance and gone out to the right. I'm not surprised that didn't get data. But that's lost distance. I was 10 yards short and off to the right with that absolute scabby one. Shall I hit one off the toe? Really bad toe. Oh, do you know, I melted that. With the face open slightly. I'm not going to get the data on that one. I meant to toe that and I ripped it. Look at that, 183 carry. That's the only thing with these things. If you're trying to like actively mishit it and you rip it one. There you go, that's the toe. Now that will perform better than the heel. There you go. So hit that one off the toe. Hit that one off the toe, and that's when getting, yeah, it wasn't as bad as that. I don't know if you got to see that one on camera. Hang on a minute, if I pop that on, you might be able to see it. And I tell you what, if you can't see it, I'll do that. So you can. That little red dot, oh, there we go, about there. It was actually about there I hit it, but I think I must have disguised one of the dots on HMT. So, anyway, what I have just found out through my own personal swing, if I was to say the difference between these when it comes to forgiveness, these both perform very, very well. They don't perform very, very well at all from heel shots, from low heel shots for me. When it comes to toes though, that's where these game improvement ones will perform better, because you're getting more. I mean, that last shot I hit there was quite firmly from the toe, and you saw it went fairly straight. I mean, how many yards offline was that, considering? 4. It was 4 yards offline, and obviously where I hit on the face. And I didn't really lose that much distance, really. So anyway, let's get into the data side of this. So if you can remember, we'll go through other ones if you want. So this is the Rogue X. I hit loads of shots, as you can see again. Now I was 123. Now you got to remember there is a slight difference in the static loft between these two clubs. Yet I can obviously get, because Ping do make the option, the G700 in power spec. So you've got 123 miles an hour on average, but you can see I dart around there depending on my strike. 17.2 launch, basically started straight with 4761, 41, 750, something like that. So you give or take, you're a couple of hundred RPM short of the Ping. Descending at 45.7, so it's about 1.5 degrees to 2 degrees less descent angle. So you've got less spin, less descent angle. Going up at only 33 on average because of that crank more loft. Going 181 and then 190. Now, so my issue when it comes to, I'll go back onto me. My issue with these kind of clubs, especially when it does go into the Rogue. Now, in my original test, I was hitting a 6-iron Rogue and getting very carried away when it was going 200 yards. And it can get into a little bit of a brute fest when you've got clubs like this, because it is a little bit powerful. And you get into this kind of idea that I've got a 7-iron here, and it's like one of those things of how far can you make it carry? That's all you end up getting into. You get into like a hitting kind of contest. There you go, 184. I didn't quite catch it, to be fair. But again, like 184, and I didn't catch it. See? Low-ish heel. And you can, oh, you can't see because you're on the other one. Sorry about that. Hang on. Didn't transact. Oh, you were on that one. See? Can't even transition myself properly. Don't understand what's going on. But you can see what I mean by, you've got to be careful when you buy these. Depending what kind of player you are, you need to be buying these because you need the help that they give. Not necessarily because you like the fact that you can take an 8-iron when your mates are like hitting 6-irons into par 3s. It's not necessarily the key to do it. If you've already got that speed, you don't necessarily need this, because the problem with one of these things is it just goes too far. For me, it goes way too far. I can flight it, I can shape it, yes I can. So it doesn't stop me from being able to turn. Excuse me, YouTube cough. So people turn around and say that, oh yeah, well, game improvement irons are harder to shape. Are they? I can shape this one left to right, right to left, as much as any blade. I mean, if I go for a left to right shot, I mean, that's shaping. It's going nowhere near going to get there, because obviously I'm putting so much shape on it. But you can see, if you see by the, I don't know if you'll be able to see that. Hang on, bear with. Let's see if I can get something in there. Yeah, you won't be able to see that. That purple one, it just goes like that. So I can shape it, I can move it. I mean, that moved in the air was crazy. So it's not an issue of the fact that because they're game improvement, you can't shape it, because you can. So that's null and void, that argument. It is a bit of a one-dimensional club. It's like a distance bat. I lose feel. Looking at the club numbers, the club data, club data, 91.9, so very close to the Ping, no much real different. 4.2 down, within reason, exactly the same as the Ping. 0.2 in to out with 0.2 close. Again, you can see there it's so close, because I'm very neutral, but still do move around. I was 3.9 toe down on the Ping, 3.8, exactly same lie angle. And again, if you look at the dynamic loft, I'm delivering slightly less dynamic loft. Well, that's true, because it's got 1.5 degrees or so less loft statically. And then 5mm toe, 3mm low. So I just had this little one when it comes to the Rogue X. I wanted just to touch the toe a bit more than I probably should. Anyway, how would I? Because I'm going to be conscious. I don't want this to go on for too long, but it's already, well, just over half an hour. But it's a live stream, so it does go on for a little bit longer, because it's not as regimented as a point and shoot camera kind of cut. Anyway, but I wanted to give you guys a chance to just put your bits and pieces out there. Do you want me to hit a certain type of shot with these two clubs while we're here? That's the whole idea. I might do, or I think I'll probably do more of these 8:30 Wednesday night live streams. Probably a good use of my time, possibly, we don't know. But yeah, and that's what I would say, as a conclusion between the two, what would I pick out of the two? The Rogue, even though there's not much in it, the Rogue X looks slightly smaller when it comes to blade length, and I'm a bit a straight shot with the rough, please. Oh, with the Rogue, sorry. A straight shot with the Rogue. Is that possible? Straight shot with the Rogue. Let's see if I can do a straight shot with it. Just because you asked, so I didn't get your name. I'll have a look. Straight shot with the Rogue. .6 of a yard offline. Is that close enough? Tony, hello Tony. Is that close? That's 0.6 of a yard is about. How far did that go? 182 yards carry, 0.6 off. Now flop shot with a 7-iron. Shall we do it for a bit of fun? Okay, this is going a bit off topic. I've just bought the Rogue X. I'm struggling. How long should I persevere with them? Why are you struggling? That's why we need to know. We need to know, were you fit using quad or something like that? Because was strike taken into account? Was your delivery tendencies taken into account? When it comes to Rogues, the Rogues or G700s, anything else like that is no actual difference to any other club with the CG really low to try and help much launch as you can do, then crank it so everything doesn't go to the moon. You've still got to have speed. If I was to hit this one, although I find this really hard to do when I'm basically slowing everything down, so that's slowed right down. Very slow, and that was 75 miles an hour. Yep, now I'm normally swinging up around about 92-ish, give or take, depending on how warmed up I am, how I'm doing on the day, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, right, let's look at the analysis on that one. I will move my body out of the way when, there you go. Right, I don't know if you can see that figure there. 15 yards in the air. That's how high it went. Now, how functional is 15 yards in the air when it's descending at 32 degrees, carry 132. I mean, I was swinging that. What speed did I swing at? Okay, it's got a little bit of a misread on the face closure. Don't worry, obviously that didn't happen. But 75.4 miles an hour. That is how fast I swung it. And I'm 15 miles an hour, give or take, short on what I normally do. But that is not a functional club for me, not at all. If I was, and that's a 7-iron. Yeah, it's only going 15 yards up in the air. That is not sensible at all. So, struggling to hit them high enough. There you go. Speed, I need to know speed. I was delivering 17.2 degrees of dynamic loft. You can deliver more. So, I mean, the trick when it comes to getting fit is to understand necessarily that a fitting is a lesson in itself to a certain extent. I know other people disagree, but when it comes to getting fit for anything, you need to necessarily know not just, well, what clubs am I going to get, but why? Why am I going to need the clubs that I'm being fit for? Do I have an issue with getting too high? A lot of people turn around and say to me, I need this kind of shaft because I hit the golf ball too high. And I went, well, let's actually go on quad and see what you believe is high, because we'll see the shots normal and you perceive them as high. Hit them and they're into the 20s peak height and they can see that as high. Well, my normal shot with my CF16s now, for a 7-iron, they're up at 36, 30, 35, 36. Well, I can get them over 40 if I really want to try and get them up in orbit. So in the 20s, well, that's a punch shot. So really, people need to understand necessarily really why they're getting what they're getting. It's not just some simple as hit them on the launch monitor. I will be doing a little snippet because I've been doing some work in certain times about this course testing idea, on-course testing. And I don't want to give away too much at the moment because, well, I don't want to spoil it. But yeah, we'll wait on that one. But I do all my testing in a closed data environment. That is the only way you can take away the ball. So if I can always use premium balls. I can always use my Vice Pro ball in here. I can take away wind, no wind whatsoever. I can take away the lie. It lies exactly the same. And I'm just measuring the individual's own performance in a sterile environment. Yes, if you put other bits and pieces like rough, wind, but that's the skill of golf. The biggest issue when it comes to testing in a on-course situation is bounce when it hits the ground. But we won't go. We'll go into that's a different video anyway. Struggling to hit them high enough. Yeah, love these reviews, mate. Awesome, cool, Tony. Right. Looking at the flight data. Let's go and have a look at flight data for G700. Yeah, that is my average. So 34 yards max. Well, hang on. No, look at the wrong one. Average one on the right-hand side. Far right-hand side. 35 yards, 47.2. And you can see there, I do spray a bit, but say spray a bit, it's not that bad at all, really. Let's go have a look at some Rogue stuff. There we go. That's changed. Now, what do you think there? I don't necessarily think, I would be more bothered about that, even though you can see that is tighter, that ring is tighter. I don't like the fact that that ring is actually round, when if you then compare it to that, where the ring is nowhere near as deep front to back, it's more left and right. That is me being an individual. I will miss left and right. Every golfer miss left and right, but you can do through practice, try and make your strike better, try and make your delivery better, and make you more accurate at hitting the same yardage all the time. Now, I wonder, see, we're gonna have to, so if I was to go back over to the range view, and I was to do a slidey left transition, there we go, different transition I know. I'm now going onto the PC, it's down here. Reason being, it's because I need to be doing something on here so you can actually see. I did a comparison of me again. I did a comparison between these two. Oh, did I get it right? Did I actually get them done? There you go, back again. I don't know if I'll be able to get them on here or not. I could possibly do it. Let's see if we can do it off the cuff very, very quickly. So this is not normally that I would do straight away, but call it media source. You can't see what I'm doing here, unfortunately. But I did actually a comparison between these two, and so you could actually get them like one-on-one. Oh, I can't do it. I've got the information around here somewhere, but doesn't matter. Got all the head data and bits and pieces separate. I'll post it online later on. I'll do it. It was when I got the information between, because obviously using FSX, I can run reports as to the difference between them two. And excuse me, what we looked at actually when it comes to, there was a very, very tiny little strike difference, and the clubs, and this is the whole like point conclusion of this, is the fact that there is nothing, absolutely nothing, separating these two clubs. Nothing at all. In performance, the only thing that's separating these two clubs at the moment, you may look at, well, it is because one's not going quite so high, one's going a bit further, one's not going, not quite spinning as much, one's not quite descending the same. But it's because of loft. This Rogue X is 1.5 degrees stronger than this one. So it's not going to go quite up as high in the air. It's going to spin less because it's got less loft. And it's going to descend at a shallower angle because of the less loft, less spin, less peak height, less everything. But because of the less spin, it's going further with the loft. You get this, the G700, in power spec to match this, and they'd be basically identical. Now I've got these in identical shafts, apart from the stepped, but it's exactly the same bend profile. So when it comes down to this whole video, of the conclusion of it, it's basically, you go test, you go find out what one you like, if you like, or if you don't like. There's so many other clubs you can choose from. Literally so many other, and just don't think because you're a high handicapper, you need to have one of these clubs. Depending on what your strike pattern is, I mean, these are good. Okay, yes, they are. You can have a very interesting strike pattern and still get somewhat out. The problem is, arguing, does it actually make you a better player? Would playing potentially, well, another one fell on the floor. That G700 again? G700 again. Would playing something like that, which is very bladey, actually work better for your strike? Now this has got a lot less loft than anything of the G700s and Rogue X. I mean, Rogue X, that's like carrying 180 yards. This thing is a true 7-iron. And you've got to absolutely button it, because if not, you're going to get absolutely stung fingers. Baby pull. But look at that. I mean, that did not hit there. This quad does not like this light at all. But that was fractionally off to the left-hand side. It still hit the green. That's gone 176. Now, I can play with that because I can feel where strike is. Well, okay. But yeah, so, right, I'm going to finish it now, unless someone's going to come up with something else that they want me to do. I hope you enjoyed the video. Should we go over the other side? Should we go over that side just before? Not unless someone can say that they want to. Oh, it's all called change. Hang on, bear with. There we go. Let's transition. Should we do a lunar white? Oh, look at that. Look at that transition. That was lovely. I'm over here now. So, hope you enjoyed it. Now, if you did, click the little like button below, and it's gone on for 47 minutes, so I'm going to stop it now. Hopefully I've done and got into as much information as I possibly can do in the time allotted. The one good thing is, and this is the one good thing, when I'm doing this live, anything that I do and everything that I do is right in front of you guys, it's right in front of the camera. There is no editing when it comes to that. I mean, obviously I've done a data set that I've shown you on camera because, well, if not, this wouldn't go on forever. It would take such a long time to do. So anyway, hope you liked it. If you did, click the like button below. Comment below anyway with anything you want to say about the G700 or the Rogue X. I'm quite happy to do more bits and pieces like this. If I know what you guys want, I can sort of squeeze something in. It's going to be a fairly regular occurrence, the 20:30 or 8:30 on a Wednesday. It just sets quite nicely in. Yeah, enjoyable, mate. I hope I can get to like my Rogues. Mark, I'll be honest, it's not a bad club. It's not a bad club at all. If you've got speed, then they can work, and they can work very, very well. The issue that I've got with the Rogues, that when it comes to tech, there's only a certain amount of tech that you can do. You can push CGs lower, further back. The problem is, just by cranking things and making it, well, shall we say, a little bit aggressive on its distance, how many wedges are you going to have? When you've got a pitching wedge which is very in the early 40s, exactly how many wedges do you think you're going to need for your bag? I mean, it's bad enough now that if you have a pitching wedge which stops at 45, like now my test set, my demo set as such of the CF16s for 2018, they finish at 45 degrees. So then you've got to maintain gapping, you've got to have a 50, 55, 60, so you've got 4 wedges, including pitching wedge. Well, if you've got something, a pitching wedge which finishes at like 42, really? That's just crazy. You're going to have 5 wedges. But it's the way of the world. Everyone wants to try and make their clubs go a little bit longer. So, right guys, hope you liked it, and subscribe. All the people that haven't subscribed, subscribe anyway, for fun. I'm going to stop this one now, so hope you enjoyed it, and I will catch you again soon. So Mark is last one in there. I think my swing speed was 78 with 7-iron when I was fitted. 28 AD, there are 2 gap wedges in the Rogue X series, and A in the G wedges, yes they are. You're right, they have to, just to try and get anywhere near a lob wedge to make it sensible. Great stream. A little question: will the longer irons 4, 5, 6 also go high, like the 7, and so on? Are they more like a hybrid? No, they won't. Remember, they can only do a certain amount when it comes to CG changes. There is, especially when it comes to these kind of clubs, you will find that they have to crank the lofts. They have to do it because they've pulled the centre of gravity so low down. They would just go to the moon, so they have to crank them. The hardest thing is now, what do you do when you get to the 4, 5, 6 iron where you can't physically get the CG any lower to get the height? So that is my only issue. You will not, when it comes to a Rogue X, I very much doubt anyone on this planet will be having a 4 iron. And if you have been fitted for a 4 iron in a Rogue X, you must be hitting the ball blooming hard because it's got such little loft, absolutely such little loft, that it's like an old school 2 iron. Unless you hit it really hard, whatever launch angle or little launch angle you're going to launch it, you need that ball to be carrying on that launch angle for as long as possible before gravity has its effect. If you don't swing it like I showed there when I was dropping down to 75, YouTube cough, as soon as I go to 75 miles an hour, it just drops out the sky and it's not functional anymore. And that will work for everybody. So yes, keep that in mind. Any questions you want, pop them in the comment section below. I will answer them as much as I possibly can. Hybrids are great, by the way. I will put that out there. People do not use hybrids enough. We need to transition from long irons to hybrids as quickly as we possibly can. So, right, I hope you liked it, guys. And I'm just don't know if I can do it on this or not. But I will catch you again, hopefully next Wednesday, if I don't pop a video in between. And then, yeah, we'll see you again soon. So I'm seeing if I can do it from here. I'm not quite sure if I can. No, I can't. I have to move my backside then. So, hope you enjoyed that. Oh, thanks for the answer. Looking forward to future streams. 8:30. Where's my little camera? There we go. That's my thumb. Thumbs up. That's what you guys need to do. Thumbs up the video. Subscribe as well. See you later.